Hey everyone, so today we're going to talk about what's called a percent add-on, right? So seventh graders are expected to understand how to do percents well enough to find percents of a number. That's what we learned in sixth grade. But in seventh grade, we're going to be adding things on, right? So let's call this a percent add-on. And it's just like it sounds. We're going to add a percent on to something. So imagine you're at the bookstore and you're buying a book. Maybe you're there to get the new John Green novel, Turtles All the Way Down, or maybe a classic like I don't know, Harry Potter or something. Anyway, you're buying a book, and of course there's a price on the book, right? So let's just say this book costs $17.25, right? So $17.25, and you know that there is going to be tax added on, right? This is what we call the add-on. And in this case, it's going to be 9%, right? 9% tax, right? So let's think about what you have to pay. Well, first of all, you have to pay 100% of the price of the book. It's not on sale, so you're going to pay 100% of $17.25. And that's the mathematical symbol for and, you have to pay 9% of the price of the book of $17.25, right? So if we translate these things into mathematical expressions, right, 100%, you might recognize 100%, of course, is 100 hundredths, and you know that equals 1. So we have to pay 1 times, that's what of means, $17.25, 100% of $17.25, and we have to pay 9% as a number that would look like this. 9 hundredths. Sorry, let me undo that. That would be 9 hundredths of $17.25. Okay, and that will give you the total price, right? The price plus the tax that's added on. Now, this looks a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. Right now, we don't have to do two different math problems. What I'd like you to understand or see here is that there is a common factor, right? When we multiply things together, we call them factors. That common factor is $17.25. So what we can do is we can just add these parts together, right? We have to pay 109% of $17.25. So you probably know that 1 plus 9 hundredths is going to come out to be 1 and 9 hundredths of the price of the book. And we'll put the common factor right back in there, right? So just think about the 100% is going to be this one part, and the add-on, the 9%, we are just going to add it on till we're paying 109% of $17.25, right? So we can, let's just crank out a little bit of math here. This is going to be the boring part, but if you were doing it, you'd grab your paper and pencil and write down 1725 times 109%, or 9 hundredths, right? So 9 times 5 is going to be 45. Back that up. 45, carry the 4. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 4 is 22, carry the 2. 9 times 7 is 63, plus 2 is 65, carry the 6. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 6 is 15. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I want to review some of these things right here. Now you're multiplying by the tens place, so we need to make sure that we have a placeholder there so that we can start in the tens place. 0 times 5 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. 0 times 7 is 0. Is it important that these line up? Yes. 0 times 1 is 0. And now we're going to shift to the hundreds place, right? We're ignoring the decimal for now. And that needs to start here in the hundreds place. So again, I'm going to put 2 placeholders here so that I can start in the hundreds place, right under the 1, right under the 1. Okay, this is a little easy. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 7 is 7. And 1 times 1 is 1. And put all these together here, and I'm going to scoot up a little bit here so we can see what's going on. When I add all these up, let's see what we're going to get. 5, 2, 10, carry the 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 plus 1 is 8, and 1. let's go back and make sure that we add our decimals in. 1, 2 decimal places, 3, 4 decimal places in our factors. That is going to translate to 4 decimal places in our answer. 1, 2, 3, 4. That seems like $18, 18 whole dollars. And now we're going to round to the hundreds place because we're talking about money, right? Pennies are 100th of a dollar. So we're going to round to the hundreds place. 2 is going to round down to 0. So we'll call this $18.80. Now that answer makes sense. It's a little bit more than the $17.25 that we're paying for the book. Okay, a little bit more than the $17.25. Good, so there's your answer. That's called an add-on. Right, we added on 9%. Let's take another look at, or let's take a look at another one. We won't do the whole thing, but let's just see how we can set it up. So imagine you're going out for fries and a shake, right? Fries and a shake. It's going to cost you some money, right? Let's say you and your friend are eating, and you're catching the bill for everybody, and the bill comes to say $25.36, and you want to leave a nice tip. So you want to leave a 15% tip. That is really nice of you. So what you want to figure out the bill. You don't want to be surprised, right? So you're going to say, I am going to pay 100% of the bill for my food, $25.36. And you want to leave a 15% tip. 15%. The tip is of, when we tip the 15%, we're talking about 15% of the bill. So it's 15% of $25.36. So again, you can see this common factor here, right? This common factor here. What we're going to do, just keep your eye on it. We're going to try and translate this into a mathematical expression. 1% is 1, of is times, and 2536 is a number, so it doesn't need any translating. We'll just copy it down. That's 100% of your bill, right? You know that 1 times 25.36 is probably going to be 25.36. And 15% we're going to translate into 0.15 of, we're going to translate into a multiplication sign, and 2536 doesn't need translating. Again, we're adding 2 multiplication problems, and these multiplication problems have a common factor, So we're going to take that out for a quick sec and add the other 2 factors. And that comes out to be, let's just change colors here so it doesn't look the same. 1 and 1500ths. 100 and 15% of 25.36. And that will tell you your bill plus a 15% tip. These are called add-ons, okay? That's all there is to it. Finding 100% is easy. Finding 15% is something we've been studying for the last week. All we need to do this week is combine those 2 things. Cool.